Okay. Am I live? Alright, cool. Enjoy this music for a bit, everybody. Welcome for the bonus game 140 that just spontaneously got in, and I'm completely rusty to run this. But I am so ready for this. Timing begins with the first movement. And go. There we go. Alright, 140 bonus game. 140 is a rhythm platformer game developed by Jeppe Carlsen, one of the... he was the gameplay designer of Playdead, the company that made Limbo and Inside. He actually was gameplay designer for both of these games. And this was his first game that he made solo with, without the company Playdead. He has now left the company and is concentrating on his solo career, so best of luck to him. I am this little geometric shaped thing that gets a triangle when I jump, a ball when I roll on the ground, and a square when I stand still, and I have to maneuver myself through these beat and music heavy environment, which has the absolute best music running at, you guessed it, 140 beats per minute.
Once again, even if this looks very easy, it's very hard. He just made a trick to get the ball a little bit earlier than he should with the rhythm of the beat.
Yeah. You have to know, you see me activate these orbs in the little panels. Hang on. There was a skip. Can't talk so much.
The skip he just does was normally he should do jump on the left side and then jump back, but he just skipped it with a small jump directly on the top one.
Did we miss it? 1, 2, yeah. So you have to know the activation animations that you see whenever the orb gets into the panel, they can only happen at the exact beat of the music. So only at a beat of 140 BPM. That is every 0.43 seconds approximately you can get these activations, animations. This is actually in a speedrun comparable to Super Mario Bros. The frame rules. There is one orb, however, at the end of level 1, which does not apply to this global rule. I think that the reason is because the developer forgot it, maybe, possibly, perhaps. But this is where you can save more than, hang on, where you can save less time than just a cycle of a specific time window. Alright, I just missed one cycle here again. And we have setups for every single orb to get the so-called early activation. So the earliest possible activation that there is, yeah, we just call them early activations. And to give you a perspective of how optimized the game is, the first 3 places on the leaderboard, we are apart, hang on. I think I'm currently second, -7 is 0.14 seconds faster, and I'm 1.16 seconds faster than the 3rd place. So this is how optimized the game is.
And you see him jumping from time to time. The white places are shooting him in the air, so sometimes you don't want to be shooted, and then he's jumping over it. And the noise part is when he hits it, he would just be dead, so we don't want to hit that one.
The static kills you on touch. We're approaching the first boss of the game, which is also the hardest boss of the game. You won't believe that when you casually play this game. You think the 3rd is the hardest, but the 3rd is actually quite easy. That was quite good. Right. Also in the top left corner here, you see the numbers, timers. This is the in-game timer mod that a community member kindly programmed for us, and it helps us keeping a loadless time as well, because this time, just as Deus Ex, speedruns the time of a speedrun can vary just because you have a slower computer or it's not on the SSD installed. That was actually absolutely horrible, but it's okay.
At least you didn't die.
Yeah, that would have been the second worst thing that could happen. Right, level 2, called Snakes and Lasers.
Here we have a new mechanic. Whenever he hits a button or a platform, the platform transforms to another one.
I completely messed up this early activation right here because I'm rusty. These blocks are actually called swappers. Ooh. Is that a coincidence? And in this game, I have to collect orbs. And the swapper, I also have to collect orbs. And the former world record holder of the swapper, Tovargent, he also runs the game Thomas Was Alone. And Thomas Was Alone is also ran by Motion, who also ran 140 at some point, so it's all connected. It's the Illuminati, I know.
So the block that came through him, if he gets hit in the way, he just dies, so he is staying at safe points.
There's also a nice glitch mechanic that a member of this game guy SD found out. It's called corner jumping or compound jumping. Well, there's two different glitch mechanics. There is no known glitch or situation in the game where it would actually save time to use them, unfortunately. Oh, I thought I thought I would have died there. Right, there's a trick coming up that used to be really hard, and I will probably fail it because I'm rusty, but I'm going to attempt it anyway. Right. Ah, first try, nice.
This is even a hard one.
It is hard when you learn it, but once you get the timing and the positioning down, it's not so hard anymore to do. But this one is a very, very important one because this is one of the few skips that actually saves more than just an activation cycle, but a full beat cycle, a full number of bars. There is some swag skip here. You can go through the static bars here earlier. But it doesn't save any time, so I'm not going for it in this run. This orb is the second hardest early activation in the game, and I'm currently not going for it. A new mechanic is coming in. Anti-gravity.
Like Swapper.
It all comes together.
Basically, this game is Swapper just with music.
But I really do love how this game interconnects music, level design, and game design into one full experience. It's unfortunately a very short game, but it's so well polished and it's so fun to play casually and speedrunning wise. I highly recommend anybody to pick it up because it's just so good.
Yeah, and hopefully you can hear the music in the stream. It's so awesome.
Alright, I am having a weird setup to get this early activation, and I'm trying to go for it. Ah, damn it.
Oh, almost.
Yeah, okay, I got the early activation at least. Unfortunately, 4 bars too late, so this is now not a decent pace run before. It was a quite okay run beforehand, but at least I could show you off the early activation, which probably nobody even realized, because it's just the activation 1 beat earlier.
So
but
here we are at the second boss. He spawns the noises and wants to kill them with us.
Also, absolutely zero RNG with this boss. There's only 2 scenes in the game where it's actually RNG. One is the third boss, and the second one is the animation of the first boss. He has a kind of a wiggling animation. You could see that in the fight. You might think this is irrelevant because the fight is very, very similar all the time. However, it's a bit complicated to explain on the spot, but let's put it this way. It can ruin the next early activation for you, depending on how the RNG on the first boss works. So it is quite crucial for a run to get good RNG for boss 1.
So what you're here seeing is that the environment is changing, and yeah, when he's placed at the wrong position, I'm just going to bump into walls and just die.
Right, that was level 2. Ah, damn it, I tried to go for a corner jump here, but I can't do it. It's just swag anyway. Alright, third and final level of the game, called Scales. The level names we know because our timer mod developer looked into the game code. Funk. Alright. This is a super clenching part of the game because... Hang on. I'm failing it hard. Anyway, let's go serious now. Alright. I'm just used to go fast here, I'm rusty. I'm go safe now. Alright. Now here comes a nice trick. It's called the Widow. Oh, nice first try.
Wow.
Why is it called the Widow? Because this trick was found by Game Guy SD, and not that trick, but an earlier setup of it. And we were calling it the bridge. And every time in the Discord I had a typo and called it the bride. And then somebody found an easier setup for the bride. So it was like half a bride. So we thought, what is half a bride? Could be a widow. So we call this skip the Widow.
Nice.
The next section of the game has the hardest skip. It can save up to 4 activation cycles in relation to the intended strat. But it was found by EVSRL, and there is a former strat here that was found by me, so we call it the Zet Skip and the EV Skip. My skip saves up to 2 cycles, and EV saves up to 4, but if you miss EV you can still go for Zet Skip, so it's kind of a backup. I will try to go for it, but it's extremely precise and hard. Oh, I think I'm too far away. I readjusted my position in midair, but I don't think I would have to do that. Nah, you can catch the orb here. Nice, at least I got the quick Zet Skip back up.
Yay! Zet hype?
This is the final portion of the game. Before the final boss. If you're seeing this game and you think, this looks weird, but it also looks great, I want to speedrun this, then firstly, I'm stupid, and secondly, please get in touch with us. We would love to have new runners.
And you would have a game with so great music.
Indeed. Great. The next part here, we jokingly, not this one yet, at the very end of the level, at the final orb. That part we call the Dream Crusher. Because PB and even world record runs have died to the very final hard obstacle of the game. And that was like a dream being crushed. But I'm confident that I can do it. Right, there we go. This orb activation cycle is legitimately the hardest one to get as an early activation. I do not recommend to go for it in a PB-paced run, ever. Because this is basically a frame-perfect, frame and pixel-perfect trick. You have to roll off the block as early as possible. Just don't. Right, this is the final boss. Here's some RNG. First phase, very straightforward. I just have to face the triangle, the static triangle that is facing towards me, so that it turns around. Just, yeah, very easy. Just the little triangle companion has to face it. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, it has more triangles coming on.
Don't jinx it.
Alright, second phase. Seemed easy so far. Now we have the little triangle automatically turning. And I have to phase 90 degrees and 180 degrees away from the triangle. Changingly. This is arguably the hardest phase of the boss. But we're through it. People might think that the upcoming phase is the hardest phase of the boss, but there is a very, very cheap trick to it, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it's going to look like magic now when I solve it for you. I can pretty much talk while doing it, and well, it's very casual. Oh, what am I doing? Run is almost over. Oh, also get ready on time. And Game Guy %, amazing. I'm sorry, but I wanted you to enjoy the awesome music a bit longer.
I think you're lying.
All right, and time. Yeah. There we go. Well, that's a 17:19 in-game time run, 17:39:20 RTA. I can't blame it. It's okay for a completely rusty run. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you so much for letting me do this. It was an amazing experience running 140 in a marathon at last. I'm going to be back in May to run this game and grind for a 16:08 time. If you want to see that, you're welcome. And if you want to run the game, just get in touch. We love new runners. And now enjoy this ending sequence. Ooh! Right.
All right, Zet, thank you very much for your bonus game of 140.